Good afternoon, everyone. I request you all to please switch on your videos if possible. Who's this Vivo V2509? Could you please identify yourself? Vivo V2509, could you please identify yourself? Is this Mr. Nawab that we are waiting for? Vivo V2509, could you please identify yourself? We are waiting for Mr. Nawab to join. He's joining now. So really joining? Yeah, he's joining. Good evening, distinguished guests, esteemed jury members, respected presenters, participants, and dear delegates. On behalf of Literary Roundtable, it is my immense pleasure to welcome you all to the second day of the Global Symposium. As we begin today's proceedings, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for your enthusiastic participation and unwavering commitment to scholarly dialogue. The success of yesterday's session was a testament to the passion, intellect, and diversity of perspectives that each participant brought to this symposium. Today, we continue this enriching academic journey with renewed energy and curiosity. We look forward to another day of insightful paper presentations, meaningful discussions, constructive feedback, and opportunities to connect with scholars from diverse disciplines and institutions. To our presenters, I wish you confidence and clarity as you share your research. To our respected jury members, thank you for your invaluable time, expertise, and thoughtful guidance. And to all our participants, I encourage you to engage, actively ask questions, and make the most of this wonderful platform for learning and networking. With this, once again, I welcome you all to day 2 of Global Symposium 2. We will now begin with the technical session. I would like to extend my welcome to Mr. Nawab Chaudhary, who is going to be judging the paper on mass communication today. Mr. Nawab Chaudhary is a journalist with over 10 years of professional experience in television and digital media. Throughout his career, he has worked extensively in crime reporting, investigative journalism, and public affairs. His professional journey includes working as a crime reporter at TV 100 News, sub-copy editor at Hindustan Times Digital, crime reporter at K News, and currently as a special correspondent at HNN 24/7. Over the years, he has covered a wide range of stories related to crime, governance, social issues, and public interest. His experience spans field reporting, news writing, copy editing, fact checking, and editorial content development across both television and digital media. We welcome you, Mr. Nawab. I will now request Yeye Konyak to please present his paper. Over to you, Yeye. Yeye, please present your paper. We are waiting for it. I'm sorry, I feel there is a technical glitch. I'll just give him a call. Please excuse us for 2 minutes.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Yeye.
Hello?
Switch on your video.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Please spare me 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Yeye.
Hello?
How are you?
Yes. Hello, ma'am. I'm good.
Are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes. Please share your screen. Are you facing any technical issues, Yeye?
Yes, I'm facing, ma'am.
Could you explain your paper verbally without your presentation? Will you be able to do that?
Yes, yes, I can do that, ma'am.
Okay, then please explain your paper verbally if you're not able to share your screen. Sir already has your paper. Mr. Nawab, will that be okay if she explains it
Yes,
verbally?
okay, ma'am, it's fine. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm so sorry for the technical issues that I'm facing.
It's
Uh,
absolutely fine. It's okay.
um, Respected the host, the distinguished guests, and the fellow researchers who is going to present. I am very thankful for giving me this opportunity. Let me introduce briefly. First, I am C. Yeli Kunyak from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Nalem University. And I am pleased to present my paper on the topic radio as a medium for localized climate adaptation narratives and dialect based communication in Nagaland.
Could you please increase your volume a little? You're barely audible.
Am I audible now, ma'am?
Yeah, better. If you could make
Okay,
your
ma'am.
the volume the maximum, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh, Having seen that climate change is one of the greatest challenges that the farmers are facing in my communities today, uh, being a state of a multilingual community, it is very difficult for my states like Nagaland to communicate climate information effectively among the farmers, and it is equivalently important to disseminate the information as generating the information itself. So my study explores on how radio bridges this communication gap. Uh, this climate change is affecting agricultural across the world, and Nagaland is no exception. However, most of the climate information is connected is through the medium of the language medium is English and Hindi, and which many rural communities in my state neither understand or nor use it in their daily lives. So, and as Nagaland is located in the Indo-Burma region, an area that is the area that is that is famous worldwide for its rich wildlife and a delicate natural ecosystem. But however, like being in such a unique environment, it means the nature change the in current situation the nature is changing deeply, and it has impacted the local community, and especially the farmers who are engaged with the cultivation. So like uh Most communities in Nagaland, they practice a subsistence farming, which means the farmers, they grow crops not for marketing, but primarily to feed their own family rather than selling it them on a large commercial scale. So and the and in Nagaland, the farmers rely on two practices. That is the June cultivation, or also known as a shifting cultivation, and the other one is the terrace wet cultivation. But in the few years, climate threat has become so prevalent where both of these farming systems rely heavily on unpredictable heavy rains and weather patterns. Uh, and as rainfall is also becoming as becoming erratic, it comes either late or fast or sometimes heavy or sometimes slow. And the temperature are shifting away from what the crops are used to be. And when this unpredictable changes occurs, it the crops yield, like, it drops down drastically for the farmers, and that is the reason how the farmers relies on the harvest to survive unsustainable weather threats, and it brings threats to the overall food security of the Nagas community. And my research explores on how the importance of the traditional oral channel, that is the radio, as Nagaland has more than 16 major tribes, each with its own language and distinct dialect, unlike the other communities that that has just one language for the overall community. But as Nagaland, having each distinct tribe with a having distinct tribe different sub dialects, it is very difficult for the communicators to let the rural community understand, especially on the climate change, which is a scientific concept. Hello? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes,
Am I
yes, you're audible. Please carry on.
And therefore, these studies examines how the radio, by broadcasting in local dialects, can effectively communicate climate adaptations information to the farming communities. And there is a questions of why radio, among many other medium of channel, to communicate this concept. But the answer here is, like, we understand that how vulnerable our, like, my state's Nagaland's farmer are to climate change. Like, we like we have to actually ask on how to reach them effectively to give the climate advice to the farmers, as over 70% of the populations of the Nagas do uh, I do farming as their sole income. Yet traditional information channels like printed pamphlets or these official reports or digital that heavy hypertext concept, it often fails. They face major hurdles because of the literacy barriers, and along with the language and connectivity limits, as most of the districts or the places in Nagaland face uh, poor connectivity to the even even with the electricity and the digital connectivity. So here's the questions of why oral channel like radio works the best. It works the best because tracing back to the history, Nagaland Nagaland has been dependent on the oral traditions as compared to the written text. So Naga culture, that's how it is also related with the Naga oral traditions of why the radio is of how the radio is effective for the farmers. And because of these cultural foundations, audio broadcasting like such as radios radio updates, the community broadcast or voice broadcast that is broadcasted in the local dialects, it is the like it becomes natural and effective way to share on the like on like it becomes effective for the farmers to understand better way as compared to the digital and the written format. Ma'am, excuse me, I will check my slides.
It will be good if you could share your screen with us.
Okay, ma'am. Um,
Not able to share?
ma'am, I'm trying to share my slides.
Really? Try sharing your screen.
And my research objectives focuses on three, that is to map and analyze the existing landscape of dialect-based climate, agricultural broadcasting in Nagaland. The second objective is to quantify and compare the levels of listener comprehension, trust, and behavioral intent across three distinct language treatment, that is English, Nagamese, which is Nagamese is a language that is used by most of the Naga community across Nagaland, and native tribal dialects. And the third objective is to document the linguistic strategies and conceptual workouts used by radio producers to translate technical climate science into vernacular idioms without losing scientific accuracy. And for the for my research, I have used mixed methodologies, that is both quantitative and qualitative. Under quantitative, it includes of the audio auditioning, playback, experiment. I experimented with number of 10 farmers from the two districts, that is Kohima district and Mon district, and it was executed to measure the commercial efficiency of dialect matching. And among the 100 farmers, 50 it was divided into 50 numbers from each district, the two district, that is Kohima and the Mon district. And in qualitative, I have used, I have interviewed, I have interviewed and also had a focus group discussion with the farmers and with the five elite officials of the vernacular newspaper translator from the All India radio station Kohima. A script coding of 12 months of archive, AIR Kohima script to map translator logic and metaphorization, playback experiments, number of 100 stratified audio auditioning, tests executed across Mon Kohima district to evaluate dialectical matching, and the evaluation matrix was carried on three core vectors, that is the factual recall, perceived trust, and behavioral action intent. My data analysis includes of both qualitative content and analysis with experimental audio testing. My data analysis of the linguistic performance data shows that the native tribal dialects, the factual comprehension were 91.0% with a perceived trust score of 4.85 and a behavioral mobilization with 86%. The Nagamis, that which is a lingual franca, the factual comprehension was 54%. The perceived trust score was 3.10. The behavioral mobilization was 39%. And the English official state language, the factual comprehension was 2.45%. And the perceived trust score was 2.45. And the behavioral mobilization was 11.0%. Now moving on to my findings. Moving on to my findings, it was the ecological metaphorization translation, vocab voids, indigenous language like direct terms for industrial, climate concepts, script writer, and ecological metaphorization. Uh, many indigenous language as in Nagaland, many indigenous language they do not have direct words of scientific terms such as climate change or carbon dioxide, greenhouse gas emission. It is difficult for the, especially for the vernacular script translator to translate and make the listeners understand. So, uh, instead of the literal translation, the radio producers they use familiar words, familiar ecological words to make the concept more easy for the farmers. And but uh, farmers, but they also make sure that they do not lose the scientific content that they are trying to convey to the listeners. And using of the metaphorization, it helps the listeners to understand complex scientific terms easily. And traditional. And another significant finding was the combination of combination of the traditional ecological knowledge with modern weather fo- uh, modern weather forecasting. The scientific weather stations provides the regional forecast, they often fail to capture local microclimatic conditions in Nagaland's mountainous terrain uh, as the as the region has a different geographical features. The satellites sometimes fail to cover what they are supposed to. So farmers the farmers they observe but they observe the natural indicators such as the blooming of flowers uh, with the blooming of flowers or the sound of the cicadas, which is their traditional ecological knowledge, and that's how they try to relate the shift of the climate, which is best for their farming calendars. Satellite launch uh, and the other finding is the other finding is the satellite blind spot. The telemetry from regional stations fails to account for climate variations across the steep, highly fractured mountainous valley of Nagaland. The other is the phonological sign. Farmers use traditional indicators like the orchid blooms, insects, call frequencies to observe micro changes. But climate shift are disturbing this baseline. Instead, the AI Kohima they broadcast in 15 distinct subdialects to bridge the micro divide by broadcasting daily 15-minute agromet advisory in the program is mainly known as agromet advisory bulletin. The contents are mostly from the ICAR Medzipima, that is the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. And this localized audio architect bypass textual literacy constraint, converting complex raw weather data into culturally validated narratives in 15 mother tongue. To conclude with my studies, to conclude with this, my studies shows that sonic architect of radio is a socio-ecological imperative for the integration of modern science with traditional ecological knowledge, mitigating agricultural risks and preserving languages. Uh, to the study demonstrate uh, demonstrate that radio is much more than just a communication tool, but it serves as a bridge between the modern climate science and the traditional ecological knowledge of the Naga communities, and by broadcasting in a sub dialect, it significantly improves the comprehension level of the listeners and the trust for the radio broadcasters. So that's how the radio plays a vital role for especially for the remote rural area of the Naga community. Thank you very much. Here comes to the end of my presentation.
Thank you so much, Elian. Over to you, Mr. Nawab, if you need to ask any questions.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, sir.
Uh, Actually, I want to ask you about Nagaland. As per research paper, uh, there is 16 tribes with their own local dialects. So the number is sample. And they took 100 people's sample from two districts, and
Yes, sir.
it could be better number, like 300 to 400. And
Yes, sir.
actually, if tribes have their own dialects, then we can go. As per my research, I researched about Nagaland, and every district have their own tribes and their own uh, dialect. So uh, a sample of 100 farmers, more district and Kohima. And
Yes, sir.
we can go another district and communicate with their own languages. I want to ask that why did not you input more number?
Uh, Sir, actually, I wanted to differentiate between the two district. It's because Mon is a place that is focused mostly on the shifting cultivation, and Kohima Kohima district mostly on the terrace cultivation. So that's how I thought like it will be fine. But if you uh, if there is a way, I will work onto it more.
So I guess the question is that when you're talking about 60 dialects, covering only two districts with 100, a sample of 200 is not sufficient. Is that the question,
Yes.
Mr. Dhar? If I am understanding
Yeah.
it correctly?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I guess the sample size is too small. When you're covering only two districts and you're talking about 60 dialects, the sample size seems to be very small. So you would have to probably go to more districts and cover more people.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, as we know, ki 16 district and their own dialect. It's I think it's very important that All India Radio air inform them their own languages. So and it's very difficult to provide them information in their own language because every tribe has their own language. But is there any option, another option to communicate with people?
Sir, the AIR Kohima, they broadcast in the two or three distinct dialect, that is English, Nagamis, and the sub dialect. But of especially for this program, the a content that is related to climate or content that is related to the rural communities, they mostly do it in the sub dialect, sir. And I think so far it is difficult to communicate in apart from Nagamis, because most of the farmers are from rural communities, and they they have the literacy barrier, sir.
But their literacy is
Suppose
not mentioned, and their age.
Andy, could you please explain? Meaning, it is too much of data, a lot of statistics that I can hear. But the problem statement that I understand, according to you, we are talking about farmers and agriculture, and you want the radio to telecast something in sub dialects, right? You're talking of 60 dialects, and you want the All India radio to be talking to or giving information about climate and agriculture in sub dialects. What is the solution that you propose to this problem? Why? Because I feel this is genuinely not possible. What is the solution that you propose? How do you propose to solve this?
Ma'am, can you please repeat the question for me?
No, I'm sorry, maybe it is a problem with my understanding of the subject, but what I feel is that we are talking about farmers, we are talking about agricultural input from All India Radio, we are talking about a lot of dialects and sub dialects being spoken in Nagaland. So you want information on All India Radio in sub-dialects. Is that what you're proposing? Is that the solution that you're looking for the farmers? Because yes, they are not literate. Yes, they are not versed in all languages. So do you propose that All India Radio should be broadcasting in all sub-dialects for Nagaland? Is that the problem solution that you're looking for?
Ma'am, actually, the problem solution that I'm looking for is how the sub dialects is more effective than English, English and Nagamese.
No, I understand. I understand that completely, that sub-dialects are definitely more effective. But how do you propose to do this? We have a national level, we are a very diverse country with all states and a lot of sub-dialects and dialects in all the states. How do you propose All India Radio to be doing it for regional these places and all kinds of sub-dialects? Meaning, how do you propose to solve this problem? Please correct me, Mr. Nawab, if I'm going wrong anywhere. This is
Yes, ma'am.
not my
Yes, ma'am.
subject area, but I feel All India Radio will not be able to solve this problem if I can understand it
No,
correctly.
ma'am. Ma'am, we should find another way to communicate people. Like district authority can communicate with their delegations or their another offices, yeah, disaster management authorities via.
Yes.
Our main concern is communicating or
Yes. Yes, we need to broadcast information, but I don't think it is possible to do it by All India Radio.
But ma'am, in the area Kohima, they broadcast it in a sub dialect.
Okay.
Yes,
So you want maybe a translated script or something? Are we looking for that?
Pardon, ma'am.
Are we looking for some translations, a script? What are we looking for? What is the problem that you're seeking in your research paper?
My the problem that I'm seeking is, ma'am, to also like the when the vernacular translator they translate it in the scientific concept, when they translate it in a sub dialect, they sometimes lose the actual meaning, since some of the uh, word, like as mentioned, climate change or carbon dioxide or greenhouse gas emissions, are like we don't have the direct word, the
Right.
direct word in the uh, sub dialect. So that's how sometimes they lost the track also, and they couldn't convey the exact information that they wanted to convey to the farmers, or to the listeners. And the one
No,
thing
no,
is,
no. I have understood the problem. What I am asking you is what is the proposal, what is the solution that you're looking for? You
okay,
want translations to words like carbon dioxide in a subdialect. Are you looking for exact translations for scientific words?
ma'am, I am not I'm not able to connect.
Okay. Mr. Nawab, would you like to ask anything else?
how many people you go? You gone to the villages and in the
Sir, in Mon district, I have picked up 50 farmers, and in Koima, I picked up 50 farmers. I interviewed them, and I have met them. I have I have had an experiment with them with the audio experiment. I recorded some of the content related to climate, and that's how I let them listen to it in two dialects, that is Nagamese and then in sub dialect. And also I have interviewed the vernacular translator of the radio in Koima, 5 vernacular radio translator from different tribe.
Sir, in research paper they gave example of Gaya, Bihar, that they have changed by radio. Uh, they communicate through radio with people, and that was effective. But in
Yes,
Nagaland, there is Nagaland's demographies is not that like Gaya, Bihar, because
yes,
their own dialect and tribes, different tribes. In Gaya, there are two languages, Hindi and Magahi, and they can understand, and all people understand these two languages. But in Nagaland, that is not possible for All India Radio to convey their message and to communicate people with their own languages. 16 language, I think that is not possible. We should look another solutions.
another solution.
Kelly, you have any questions? Would you like to ask anything? Kelly, would you like to ask anything? Any questions?
No, no, ma'am.
No. Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, any further questions?
No,
Nawab sir, any further questions?
no, ma'am. It's okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for gracing this occasion. Clearly, I would please request next time to be a little more prepared with your presentation because it is a multidisciplinary conference and it becomes more of data bombarding to us because it is not our subject area and we are just listening to percentages, statistics, and all, and it is difficult to understand without a presentation. So, for next time, please be better prepared with the presentation. That is just a suggestion. Thank you
Okay,
so
ma'am.
much for being with us. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, now Varsha ma'am and Neeti ma'am, are you here for the English session?
Ma'am, I'm here. Ma'am, am I audible to you, ma'am?
Yes, Varsha ma'am, you're audible.
Ma'am, good evening to both of you, so the beautiful females, ma'am, and good evening to the sir, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening. I just introduced our jury for today for English, Ma'am Rekha Tandon. She has been teaching English for over 30 years and is presently serving as a PGT in one of the most prestigious schools of Dehradun, St. Joseph's Academy. Throughout her long and dedicated career, she has inspired students with her love for literature, clarity of expression, and commitment to excellence in language learning. She has also served as in charge of the editorial board of the school's annual magazine, The Academician, where she mentors students in writing, editing, and creative expression. She has made valuable academic contributions, including authoring the ICSE 22-23 sample paper on Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. A passionate guide and trainer, she has prepared numerous students for inter-class and inter-school debates and has also been invited to judge several debating competitions at various levels. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Varsha, ma'am, are you ready with your presentation?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah, please
Should I
share your screen. Please share your screen, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, it's taking time because of network problem, ma'am.
No problem, ma'am. We'll wait. Please try sharing it.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm trying.
Varsha, ma'am, are you ready?
Ma'am, the network issue is there, ma'am. Should I, ma'am, speak without PPT presentation?
Okay, ma'am. It becomes difficult actually to focus throughout without the presentation.
Yes, ma'am, it is not. I don't know, ma'am, what is the problem is here. It is not uploading over there.
No
I have
problem, ma'am.
embarrassed
But you
for
need
this.
to increase, ma'am, please increase the volume. We can barely hear you.
Ma'am, now it is right now. It is audible.
Yes, it is audible.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, my topic is that is the sense of feminist criticism and material narratives in the work of Sarojini Naidu and her conveners. When we are here in the matter of the women, we have seen that they have suffered a lot in their past. Yes, in Uttar Vedic period, they have given their best. They have showed themselves what they were encouraged, conceit, and chivalry. But according to the past of the chronicles and accounts, we have seen that where they have vanished and where they lose their own dignity in the mark of feminism. Again, in the passage of the courses, we have seen the dynasties which were here in India. They completely banished their outcomes, their outworks, and tried to be over them with their control and the power. See, the point is there, how we have to be there. Yes, in the era of British era, we have seen that the women started to make out their proper presentation with the help of a little bit touch of the education. There are many skies, but the only one sky that can be lit up with the help of the women illumination. Yes, women are the real sprouting which are there to know that how they have to given in the past, in the present, and would be in the future. But what we have suffered, we suffered a lot. But when we have seen there are the Spartan, the pagans related to this Sarojini Naidu, now one of the most important figure who has given her utmost in the pages of the Indian history, in the pages of Indian economics, in the pages of Indian politics. She was not only a great politician, stewardship, humdinger, whistleblower, but also of the paradigm of the women autonomy. When we are here to show that in her contemporaries, there was also Madam Bhikaji Kama, Pandita Ramabai, Amna Asaf Ali, and the other ones, Kamla Chattopadhyay. Why these women were needed to be present their identity in the mark of Indian politics, Indian independence, and the other parts. The most important thing, what is the schooling? Schooling was ever far off to the Indian women touch. They were subjugated to banish or to be make out their identity behind the walls of the thresholds and the walls. They have gone up in the darkness of the cane. There was nobody to help them. When these stewards and the steward women came into the point of the lightness and given their point to the all ones, when they are here to know that one, why we have to be. So we know that Sarojini Naidu, she was born in the year 1879. When she was born in the year 1879, it was the period when there were so many stalwart males presented in Indian background. Rabindranath Tagore, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and the other ones. How far we have to be gone to ourselves. So Sarojini Naidu was there, who has given her real touch up in the pages of Indian politics, Indian literature. So how to be? When we are here with Bhikaji Kama, she has given her great output and outcomes in the terms of Indian politics. When we are here with Indian politics, the Indian politics is the mark of Indian independence. What is independence? Independence not only about that you are to be going to free your nation, you are going to free your youngsters, you are to going your young generation. That is also in the concern of the. Ma'am, should I stop or should I speak, ma'am? Ma'am, you're not audible to me.
Please continue, Varsha. We're going through your because we don't have the. So we need to follow the paper.
What, ma'am?
Please continue, ma'am. We are going through your paper side by side because we don't have your presentation with us.
Ma'am, that is not uploading, ma'am. I have sent my PPT to the ma'am, Sarika ma'am. I don't know, ma'am, why it is not presented over there.
No problem, no problem. Please carry on. We are side by side going through your paper also.
Okay, ma'am.
Please
Okay.
carry on.
Yes, ma'am. So when we are here with ma'am Pandita Ramabai, why we should know about Pandita Ramabai? She is also known to that. She was the humdinger who had given to back into the Indian women. Why Indian women are even subjugated and exploited in the terms of the education and schooling? They have to be faced so many things. You have to be bring up the child. You have to be bring them to everything. Yes, this is the duty that is also there. But the man should be understand that apart to these ones, we have so many wings to be fly up in the sky. After that, we know that. What is the most important thing we are needed to know as a spout one? Second one, we have seen Kamla Chattopadhyay. She was to be known and the key to the Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu. In the pages of, she is also called Bulbule Hind and Kesar Nightingale of India by Mahatma Gandhi. Why Mahatma Gandhi is there? We should be know whenever we are here with the movements in Indian history, the Indian history has faced so many remarkable females who has given a very utmost part of participation. They cross their threshold, they cross their walls, they cross their doors, and they also tear up the veil, the piece of cloth. They are not made for that one. Then we go ahead to the Aruna Asaf Ali, Indian Hind Fauj or Azad Hind Fauj, which was subjugated by The great Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who was the IAS under the term of the British India, he has given so many terms of, but where we are now, Anna Asaf Ali, she composed and summoned the call to the women that they have to be here up and to gather up their stamina and energy in the term of the Indian Mutiny. Without, it was not there. It was the words of Sarojini Naidu that the national building not only goes to the women, not only goes to the other ones, it is the term of the Indian women that they should be there from every caste, every creed, and every religion. Women were ever kept behind the wall, but in Uttar Vedic period, we have seen Maitri, Gargi, Apala, Ghosha, Mudra, who were very remarkable, the praiseworthy women of India. But where they lost according to the phases of the history, according to the phases of the dynasties. What the dynasties are there, they kept them in their harem, they kept them in their entertainment and for pleasure. Sarojini Naidu, she has given their best through her poems. The poems are like Pelican Bearer, the poems are like To India, the poems are like Hina, and the poems are like To the Gift of India. These are the poems which are completely noted out on the pages of the history to be known that we have to know there. So completely know that we are not to be there. Yes, in the where when she migrated to America, there she has given the greatest speech, the speech about youngster, and came from the ancient line to the youngest word. What is the youngest word in that term of the 20th century? That was America. Now, it was the mindset which became the mindset of the Europeans that the India is completely far to them, that is not great in literature, it was the other ones. So we can see that how it is the terms of the Gandhiji, in the terms of Sarojini Naidu, in the terms of Anna Asaf Ali, Bhikaji Kama, Kamala Chattopadhyay, Pandita Ramabai, and the other important Humdingers women of Indian history who has given their terms not only of the basis of the stewardship or the state of affairs, diplomatic affairs, but also in the terms of their words through poetry and the literature. What is literature? One of the most important tools that cannot be used only by the male to mirror out their own words, to mirror out their own composition to the women or to the women, but even the women are there to make their prominency, to make their eminency, to jot out or to brood out where they are, where they really want to be, what they really want to be composed, what they really want to be make out. But what we have seen, so in Indian history, there are so many ones. And in the term of Sarojini Naidu, when we are here to India, the most important poem which was dedicated by to her country, where she has said that slumbering souls of the men that we have to know, where the gone of the past of the Messiah civilization and the terms of the Kamsas. It means that the Britishers when they were here, what they did, they only exploited, subjugated, and nothing else. And the more than most important thing, the most abhorrent thing we have seen in Indian politics in the past, the Indian jamidars, landlords who used to looted women, who used to subjugated women, who used to seduce women. They did nothing. They only to turn down what they really want to be go on. Now, it was the Sarojini Naidu who has given her terms to be make out the national building with the help of the women at any time or with the any phases. She really wanted to be make out to her Indian women. They should be cross the terms, they should be cross the other boundaries to be present on the pages of the Indian way. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, both of you. Ma'am, it's over. Thank you. Ma'am, any question?
Ma'am, can you hear us?
Ji, ma'am. Ji, yes, ma'am. Yes,
The title that you have chosen, is there anything about the matrilineal narrative? You spoke of the matrilineal narrative. Was there a need of such a superfluous title, or because we are mostly talking about feminist, the rights of women? So why to have such a superfluous?
Sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please speak, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Why such a superfluous title?
Ma'am, the title, yes, I know, ma'am, there is something maybe, but ma'am, according to me, when we have seen, ma'am, since the centuries, where were the women? Where we are nowhere. We have to fight for our existence. We have to fight for our rights. We have to fight for everything. If we are earning, then we have to work at home. If you are working at home, then we have to be forced to. You have to make out money. You are not. You are a home person. You are a homemaid. You are not able to earn. So with my sense of feminist work and humanitarian narratives with her works of Ma'am Sarojini Naidu and her poems, ma'am, I want to ma'am elaborate, or I want to make out my words that women are not made for cases. Women are made for boundaries. They have their own wings to fly in the sky. We have suffered a lot. We are not made for to man entertainment. We are not made for subjugation. We have our own conceit. Ma'am, in Jane Austen, in Maya Angelou, in the past, or the Charlotte Bennett, we have seen they adopted studios to be make out their identity in that period, to conflict with man identity. Why we have to conflict our identity with those ones? We are made to bridge up a line between man and women. We don't want gender equality. Where is gender equality? We are born to make. We are the person who born to male, not male are there. But every time you're not equal to that one, you're not equal to her, this one. Why we should suffer? No, not at all. Not at all. Education is the weapon. And if we have a weapon, we can make out our identity, presentation, recognition, autonomy, our advancement, our upliftment in society. In from past, ma'am, we have Rani Lakshmi Bai, we have Karmavati, we have Rani Chennamma, we have Apala Ghosh, and the other ones who make a bridge in India. We have the women, Muthu Lakshmi Reddy, who are crossing out it. But every time you are this one, you are that one, why I should I dare to make my presentation? Women have wings, they must be flying the sky. Yes, ma'am.
Would say that even Sarojini Naidu in her work has glorified the woman's role as a mother. There are many of her works in which she glorifies those roles as well. She is never in conflict with the roles as a woman, as a mother. Rather, she wanted to bring women at the forefront, not at the cost of her maternal duties. She wanted herself and other women being given equal opportunities. At the same time, always glorified her role as a woman, as a mother.
Yes, ma'am.
So there was no confrontation as such in her work. There was no conflict.
Sorry, Varsha ma'am, but I genuinely do not understand your topic of your research paper this time. And I really, ma'am's question, I would like to repeat it. How does the word matrilineal narrative fit in your paper? It is more of a feminist paper, I understand. You're talking about the subjugation of women and all. But how do you feel that the matrilineal narrative word fits in anywhere in this paper?
Ma'am, when we go in the past,
Please explain the word matrilineal.
ma'am, what is our identity? What is gender discrimination according to
No,
me?
ma'am, I'm not talking about gender discrimination. Please just explain the word. What do you understand by matrilineal?
Matrilineal women presentations, women perspectives, women preferences in British India.
No, that is not
No, ma'am.
matrilineal.
That is not matrilineal, ma'am.
So, ma'am, would you like to
Women
explain
being
ma'am,
raised on the platform, on that pedestal of being a mother. And she never confronted it. Rather,
So,
she
ma'am,
was
it is
very
not
much in
right
harmony with the idea.
Ma'am, it is not
Ma'am, you're doing your research in English or are you doing your research in history?
Ma'am, I'm doing research on Sarojini Naidu.
No, Sarojini Naidu as an author, or are you doing Sarojini Naidu as a meaning you're studying her in history or you're studying her in English literature? What
Ma'am,
is your
that is-
research area?
Ma'am, it is from Mughal period to the Indian independence, ma'am.
No, understood, ma'am. What is the research area? Your subject area is English or history?
Ma'am, English.
English.
Yes,
Okay, because I feel your paper is more from history. You're talking about Sarojini Naidu and the freedom fighters after that, but it is basically history that we're talking of, and we're talking of feminism, right?
There is no reference to any of her previous works which really address this issue of women emancipation, women empowerment. Nothing as such has been really spoken of with reference to any of her work. Like, this is the purpose of a literature paper. When we are talking of a writer, we always refer to one or the other of her work which are depicting, showcasing the same feel, the same idea, which I found lacking in the paper.
Honestly speaking, ma'am, when you talk of Sarojini Naidu and when you
There is plenty that you could talk from literature.
And you have specified that you're working in your core area is literature. You're not citing any poetry, anything, any of her works, or even of all the other women that you've mentioned. We are not talking of history, ma'am. Where's the literature part? No, none of the works have been cited.
Some of the extracts from her political, public address. Aruna Hasif Ali, such.
Yes, you could have used the bazaars of Hyderabad or something. You could have cited so many things.
Literature. We focus on literature.
When we are discussing a literature paper, we need literature works cited. We need to talk about her books, about what she has written, basically. That is our literature part. The rest of it is history, ma'am.
Ma'am, when I have studied about her taking this topic, so ma'am, I go through to the 1800 because ma'am, Pandita Ramabai, Kamla Chattopadhyay, ma'am, and Aruna Asaf Ali, ma'am. So ma'am, I studied all of them. When I ma'am studied all of them,
if you studied Pandita, I would be very honest. I don't know much about this author, but okay, it is the high caste Hindu women. Let me tell you to begin with, when I was looking at the paper, ma'am, you're doing your master, you're doing your doctorate in literature, ma'am, it is replete with glaring grammatical errors. Glaring, I would say. Wrong usages are plenty in number. There are certain structures you have to read 3 times to deduce the right meaning, and still you are by the end of the line a little clueless as to what the writer wants to say. That was my, assessment. A lot many grammatical errors and usage errors, structural errors, and ideas being repeated. Like, we are talking of women's subjugation, exploitation, but then if we keep repeating those ideas, it brings nothing on the table. There is no newness.
I did not understand the problem statement, neither did I understand what are we aiming for. See, when we are doing our thesis, when we are doing our doctorate, we need to first identify a problem statement. What are we trying to do our research on? That is the basic thing. That is the topic on which we decide. Next, what we aim for. What do you want to deduce from this thesis? What are the results that we are aiming for? I'm so sorry, but I could understand nothing. I really don't know what we are aiming for here.
Sorry for this time, ma'am, but for my publication, ma'am, I will do my best.
No, ma'am, I can understand you've done your best here also. I understand you've done here. You're doing your best here also. But ma'am, research here, whatever you've done, you've put in a lot of hard work that is visible. But ma'am, your hard work is based on history. You need to focus more on literature, not on history. This can ideally pass for a history research paper, but not for an English literature research paper. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not trying to undermine your work. I can understand a lot of hard work has been put into this research.
No, ma'am. You can tell me, ma'am, everything. Ma'am, you can tell me everything. When you tell me, then I will improve me.
Yeah, I am not undermining your work, ma'am. But this does not look like
no, ma'am, not at all, ma'am. I'm happy to know. I'm happy to know where I'm lacking, ma'am. I'm really thankful to both of you.
If a lot of Sarojini Naidu's
Yes.
work and then draw your own conclusions, bring
Yes.
them on the paper.
Yes, ma'am.
Drawing a few extracts, a few poetic lines, a few slogans, very empowering lines that you found very impressive and impactful, game changer in the lives of the nationalist movement.
Because your topic is
Ma'am,
very
so
interesting
literature-
and Sarojini Naidu has written a lot.
A lot.
A lot. If you start going through her work, you will have a lot to write about, ma'am. The topic is very
Okay, fine, ma'am.
interesting.
So, ma'am, literature.
Please focus on the literary part of Sarojini Naidu. Okay?
Fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Definitely.
Thank you.
Ma'am, so, ma'am, would I like to, ma'am, one point literature I have to note down. One, ma'am, I
Yes.
have to remove the history. I have to write down the more on Sarojini Naidu. And, ma'am, to improve the grammatical error and the structural error. Right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes.
one very
Enough,
sincere
ma'am.
advice. Have a little
Much, ma'am.
reduced
Thank you
love
very
for
much.
fancy words.
Yes.
Your expression should be very lucid, understandable, and convincing. All right. You need not have a
Fine,
fascination.
ma'am. Fine.
Use
Or those
simple
fancy
language.
words.
Something that can be understood easily. Okay?
Somewhere we lose the intent
Fine, ma'am.
midway.
Fine.
Thank you
ma'am.
so
Ji,
much,
ma'am.
Ashtu
Ji.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Neeti ma'am, are we ready? Neeti ma'am, please unmute yourself.
I try to make I try to put in every effort to understand it.
Neeti ma'am,
Samajh
please switch on your video.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hello Neeti ma'am, how are you?
I'm fine. Good
Please
evening,
share
ma'am.
your screen. प्लीज अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर कीजिए. स्क्रीन प्रेजेंटेशन अपना पीपीटी दिखाइए प्लीज.
Yes, ma'am.
waiting room. This is somebody in the waiting room. What's this? MCF?
Yeah, we have just done last paper for chemistry.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
And who's going to use any of that?
Sandeep sir from Martians. Okay, I am very sorry. Neeti ma'am is not able to present her paper because of some technical glitch. So we will be taking up the chemistry paper. Mr. Bhavani Shankar is here to present his paper.
Do I take your leave then? चलो बैठ जाते हैं, दिक्कत नहीं।
Just ask. I would just like to introduce our guest for today, the jury member, Mr. Sandeep Tomar. He has done his master's in chemistry and started as a quality control chemist. He's worked as an assistant lecturer of chemistry and has been a PhD chemistry since 2012. We welcome you, Sandeep sir. We request you to please unmute yourself.
Good
And
evening.
Mr. Bhavani Shankar, if you're ready with your presentation, we'll be happy to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Please share your screen, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Madam, give the screen sharing option.
Okay. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine, madam.
Yes, sir. I have given you the permission to present your screen, please.
Yes, madam. Okay, madam. Is it visible, madam?
Yes.
Okay, madam. Good evening, all the dignitaries who are in the conference. And good evening, everyone. My name is Bhavani Shankar. I have been working from the past 25 years as a chemistry faculty. So that today I am presenting my paper, The Impact of Nano Compounds on Environmental Sustainability, how nano compounds can use to decrease the pollution in the environmental pollution. So today I will be presenting my paper. This is the impact of nano compounds on environmental sustainability. This study explores how nano compounds contribute both positively and negatively to environmental systems and how sustainable chemistry can help mitigate adverse effects. So this is my paper. This is I have been explained to you. So the abstract of this title, nanotechnology has emerged as a rapidly growing field with applications in the medicine field, agriculture field, electronics, energy and environmental management. Nano products, how they can contain materials with dimensions typically between 100 to 1 to 100 nanometers, the size of the nanometer. So 1 nanometer, we are taking 10 to the power of minus 12 meters, like that we are taking, offer unique physical and chemical properties that improve product performance and efficiency. The increasing production and use of nano products have raised concerns about the potential contribution to the environmental pollution. Nanoparticles can insert, they can easily absorb into the air pollution, water pollution, as well as soil pollution due to their extremely small size. Due to their small size, they can absorb easily to neutralize whatever the toxic pollutants are there in the environment, either air pollution or soil pollution. Potentially, they can decrease the toxic effects as well as animals as well as humans. This study suggests that certain engineered nanoparticles may accumulate in the ecosystems, affect the microbial communities, disrupt the natural biological process. At the same time, nanomaterials are being developed specifically to reduce pollution through water purification, air filtration, and waste treatment. This is the main agenda of this the title what I have done. So that here I want to explain what are the particles we can use to purify water pollution as well as the air pollution, soil pollution. What are the advanced remediation for this that I am discussing now? So water purification, nanoadsorbents like carbon nanotubes, nanomembranes remove heavy metals, microplastics, and pharmaceutical residues traditional water plant miss. Because in the industrial waste, the medicinal products, as well as the pollution, so many pollutants will be merged with the water. So we have to purify that water for our drinking purpose, to make them to drink. So what are the nanoparticles we have to use? That is the iron oxide Fe3O4, smart rust to pull out the heavy metals, whatever the heavy metals are there in the water pollution, and magnet to live these magnetic particles and the trapped pollution right out the water. Titanium oxide, destroy the harmful chemicals. Dyes and medical waste in the water. So many pharmaceutical industries are there in the Hyderabad, especially in industrial area, because whatever the day-to-day working, they are sending so many waste into the water, rivers, lakes, the surrounding by the industrial area. And these are the particles we have to mix with water to reduce zinc oxide, titanium oxide, and iron oxides using break down the organic toxins and kill germs. So these are the materials generally in the where I done my research, and what I observed the percentage of nanoparticles what they are using to reduce the pollution of this water pollution, air pollution, and soil pollution, especially in the industrial area of Hyderabad. So soil groundwater, we are using nanoparticles injected directly into contaminated sites. Because of the small size, they easily enter into the toxic solvents and heavy metals, eliminating the need to dig up soil. And air filtration, we are using nanofiber membranes, ultrafine particles matter, and volatile organic compounds from industrial emissions. These are all we are doing because they are doing to reduce the soil pollution as well as the air filtration. Zinc oxide and bismuth nanoparticles, surfaces lattice oxygen to absorb and convert harmful indoor gases like carbon monoxide and greenhouse gases into safer compound forms. So these are the substances generally using in the industrial area to reduce the water, air, and soil pollution. So we are taking what are the objectives. So what are pollution objectives? Target micropollutants. So filter out emerging contaminants like pharmaceutical, microplastics, polyfluoroalkyl that defeat standard treatments of the plants. Accelerate heavy metal removal. Use high surface area nanoadsorbents. Quickly bind, isolate toxic lead, arsenic, and mercury. So these are the substances to use enable remediation, inject highly mobile nanoparticles directly into deep to neutralize the chlorinated solvents without digging up the land. Because soil pollution, the depth of the soil polluted, because without digging up, we have to, because of the size of the nanoparticle is very little, so easy to inject into the soil to reduce the pollution in the soil in the industrial areas. Immobilized soil contaminants, lack of hazardous waste and heavy metals in the place within the soil matrix, preventing them from leaching into nearby agriculture water supplies. To maintain the agriculture properly cultivation, so we have to reduce the soil pollution to maintain the pH of the soil. That is also they are doing in this industrial area and the surroundings. Next, dual nature of chemicals. What are the benefits and toxicity of these nanoparticles? What we are taking? Defining future nano compound, their massive surface area to volume ratio, which drives two opposing forces. It provides unprecedented number of active sites to bind heavy metals, capture pollutants, or catalyze the breakdown of toxic organic molecules. The toxicity, the extreme chemical reactivity makes nanoparticles highly unstable in biological systems. They can trigger serve oxidative stress, generate harmful reactive oxygen species, and damage cellular structures in living organisms. These are the adverse effects also there. They can create sometimes toxicity. So, high sustainable ensures that nanofilters, nanocatalysts do not degrade immediately, allowing them to continuously treat polluted air or water over extended periods. So they have to use time by time to reduce this. Then what is the research gap we have? Lack of specialized field detection and qualifying tools. What is the exact gap? Current detection techniques we are taking require expensive, destructive, and time-consuming laboratory preparations. So they are no portable real-time and sensors capable of distinguishing engineered nanoparticles from naturally occurring nanoscale materials in reverse or agriculture fields. Nano compounds can clean up specific pollutions. We do not know where they go forward. There is a several lack of comprehensive cradle to grave life cycle assessments. The environment cost of mining rare elements and using high energy manufacturing for nanomaterials is rarely weighed against their ultimate kind of benefits. So these are the things what we have in the research gap. And what are the key environmental challenges? Here, analytical blind spots. Current field equipment cannot distinguish between engineered nanoparticles, naturally occurring background colloids in soil water. So, ecology, bioaccumulation, the unique biological mobility of nanocompounds threatens the lower tiers of the food web. So, toxicity to microorganisms, silver, zinc, copper nanoparticles kill beneficial soil bacteria. So, which can soil bacteria is one of the pollutants, aquatic algae, disrupting the foundational nutrient cycles of ecosystem. So these are the toxicities to reduce by these nanoparticles. So trophic transfer, soil organisms and aquatic filter ingest nanoparticles causing concentrated toxins, food chain to fish, birds, ultimately humans. So this is the thing where we are facing. And so the materials and methods. So what are the experimental methods we can use? Environmental toxicity to determine a bad side of the dual nature. Parallel ecological assays are conducted. Acute chronic biases, expose Dophinia magna or algae or verifying concentrations of the nano compound. Monitor the survival rates, reproductive output to growth inhibition over 24 to 96 hours to calculate the lethal concentration of the 50% of the population. So oxidative stress and biomarker analysis, homogeneous exposed biological tissues use biochemical assays to measure reactive oxygen species. Because here oxygen, how much oxygen is required, the content of the oxygen required in the air and water, the level of that should be maintained by using these nanoparticles to reduce this. What are the analytical tools we are using here? Mass spectroscopy, inductive coupled, and plasma mass spectroscopy. This is you are using, and gas chromatography, and high pressure liquid chromatography, and ultraviolet visible. These are the instruments using to develop the. For example, we are taking plasma mass spectrometry, the gold standard for detecting trace heavy metals in water and metallic nanoparticles. It can measure concentration down to parts per trillion levels. This is the gas chromatography used to identify volatile or semi-volatile organic chemical pollutants, such as industrial solvents, pesticides, and greenhouse gases. These are all the pollutants that are there in this that we have to detect. Sir. Sir, tell me. Sir, it is not clear your voice. Sir. Yes, sir. Madam, are you? Your voice is audible.
Yes, sir. Are you done with your presentation?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Sandeep, sir, are you there? Sandeep, sir, are you there?
Ma'am, you getting my voice, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ma'am.
Please ask your questions.
Sir, as you said that nanoparticle made of ferrous oxide and titanium oxide and zinc oxide, if these are added to the water bodies, they will help to reduce the pollution. You said but sir, have you studied that what are the adverse effect of titanium oxide, ferrous oxide, and zinc oxide if added additionally into the water body? Because water body, if you're adding these things to the water body and you have no tool to remove it for thereafter, means doing cleaning and whatever it is, and you are releasing that water as such to the channels, ultimately it goes to the plant body, because ultimately not only plant, water itself have so many microorganisms which are phytoplanktons and zooplanktons. So sir, these things like excessive zinc oxide, titanium oxide, ferrous oxide in excessive you can say concentration, that can be harmful further to deteriorate the condition of the water.
Yes, sir.
Because water is coming from the industry that is already polluted. So means there could be a substitute over there, means what we can use other than heavy metal, or there is any bypass method to manufacture something, but that polluted water is coming out, and additionally we are adding all these elements which are actually heavy metals. Even ferrous could be managed, but zinc do the competition with the ferrous, because ferrous का valency वो भी दो होता है, zinc also have valency too. When we add this to the water and that water go to the agricultural field, it will start competing with the you can say many of the say cofactor substituents which are used in the enzymes of the plants, as well as it will compete with the ferrous, which can lead to the that chlorosis into the plant. So how it will be tackled? If we adding it additionally in polluted water, we are additionally adding all these 3-4 compounds. How it will be tackled?
Sir, actually, these are the whatever you said, titanium, zinc, these are all the uses. Because of different methods we have to remove by sedimentation method and ultrafiltration, and these are the other methods. So if the percentage will be more, the toxicness will be increases in water pollution as well as soil. So we have to use these carbon tubes also we can use, which can neutralize this pollution. Other than this, whether we are using these heavy metals instead of these metals, we have to use carbon tubes, which cannot give the toxic level of this water as well as soil.
So carbon nanotube, it's a new technology and that is not cost effective at all if we are using at the bulk level, because when it comes to the water treatment, that should be used in at the bulk level.
Yes,
And
yes.
if we are making some filter and gauges, again, there's a big problem. Though the zeolites, naturally occurring zeolites, aluminosilicates, these has been used since long. Carbon
Yes,
nanotube
yes,
we are
sir.
using, that is not cost effective at all.
That's sir. Actually, the which are not eliminated, even though, because these are all what are the major pollutants we have to remove by these filters. What we can use, the geolites, what you can said, all these geolites. So, because of the which very the materials which we cannot remove, we by the natural methods to remove the pollutants, because of the thing we have to use these type of nanoparticles where they are more effective. The permittable levels we have to use this Fe2O3 as well as zinc oxides to reduce this, because otherwise there is a even pure with whatever the chemical pollutants from the pharmaceutical industry, the depth level of pollutions we are creating pollutants, we have to neutralize them. Because of these metals we have to use the most of these things what we can use. Otherwise what we can say, the carbon particles is enough, because they cannot remove 100% pollutants in water as well as soil.
And so one more thing additionally, if these nanoparticle escape back to the water body, then how we will remove all these?
That's what, sir,
If they are
because
so tiny, they mixed with and they are with the water body, then we additionally have a pressure to remove these also, because carbon nanotubes, we cannot say that these are present in the body and somebody is drinking directly and we are just leaving that water as such. We are releasing into the water channels that going to the fishes and all organism additionally. So ये assimilate वो कर लेंगे फिर, means पहले तो हमने उसको
that's what,
किया,
sir.
बाद में वो ऑर्गेनिज्म ने assimilate किया, and they biomagnification if happening, so these substances which we are adding to the water body, that can be accumulated into the organism.
That's what, sir. There's some adverse effects we are having as per we are using this chemical oxygen demand as well as biological oxygen demand. So these are the methods where we have to check the concentration, how much chemical oxygen demand by using the oxidating agents. What we have to use like KMNO4 and K2CR2O7, we have to calculate what ppm levels they have, because based on that still we have some adverse effect. What you said, that is correct. Still some other methods to reduce whatever the, whether we are using like heavy metals to create toxicity in water. So the other methods now developing to reduce this also, sir. That is my observation, what I said.
Okay, okay. And sir, one more thing. Actually, I have worked in that STP plant also, sewage treatment plant, where that water of sewage coming from the houses, that is treated, and after clearing and maintaining the water, that dissolved oxygen content, it is released back to the channel after maintaining all the parameters. And once I have visited and did the project on the water treatment plant, which was as coming out as a affluent from a paper mill. So in that also, whatever we are means getting as a pollutant into the water, first we are doing the sedimentation using the alum, because if we are using that potash alum,
Yes,
Fitkari,
yes, yes, yes,
and
yes.
it is released into the water, it has no adverse effect on the environment also. So first we were doing sedimentation, and after that, for the further cleaning, we were adding, say, bleaching to kill the microorganism or any of the pathogen, and then we were just, say, aerating the water to maintain the dissolved oxygen content. तो ये जो STP या effluent treatment plants होते हैं, तो ये means your method is might be better than that, or those methods are pre-existing methods are better.
So,
Because in those method we are not adding something and still we are cleaning water, we are maintaining parameter and we are releasing into the canals and water bodies. And in your method, if we are means adding carbon nanotubes to clean or any of the, say, nanoparticle, additionally it is a kind of burden on us to clean it further.
yes, sir. Actually, here the content of the fluorine will be more because we have to use the low cost. Actually, fluorosis, we are in the water generally. I am staying in Hyderabad. The outside of the Hyderabad, the outskirts, the people are suffering with fluorosis because they have what you said, alums. We are using lime. These are all we are using to remove this whatever the contents we are having, like fluorine, aluminum salts. We are using lime and bleaching powder. These are
So
all
fluorine is not used. Fluorine is not used. Enough fluorine we get in our toothpaste daily at morning.
No, sir. What I am saying, excess of fluorine. What I am saying is the fluorosis causes by the excess of fluorine because
But
we have
that,
to,
sir, for
because
fluorosis, there is a different, you can say, causal effect is different.
that is also one of the contaminant. What we can
Toothpaste
say.
actually
What I
present.
tell me, sir.
Uh,
Tell me,
excuse
sir.
me, sir. What I'm saying.
Hmm.
Hello.
Sir, tell me.
If we consult the routine of a common man, toothpaste is the only substance which is inputting a lot of fluorine early morning to their schedule. Except that we are not using any of the fluorine compound. And for cleaning of the water, fluorine is not used. That is not used. Chlorine is used. Cl. Fluorine is not used because salts and if the compound are used, they're costly. Fluorine is cheap as well as it is practical enough. So fluorosis के लिए responsible cause हमारा toothpaste हो सकता है because in India parameters are not working as per the guidance, and when we brush daily we take a lot of fluorine and after that we just spit it out into the water body. So जो हम पेस्ट करते हैं रोज उसको हम स्पिट आउट कर देते हैं, वो फिर अल्टीमेटली वाटर चैनल में मिलेगा. तो दैट इज द ओनली इनपुट ऑफ फ्लोरीन except the industry from the urban areas. So that could be the reason for fluorosis. But bulk में ये किसी या तो इंडस्ट्री से निकल रहा है, अदरवाइज ट्रीटमेंट क्लीनिंग में फ्लोरीन तो यूज नहीं होता है.
No, sir. What I am saying is here there is a technique is there. Nalgonda technique. Nalgonda technique. There is a certain areas they are using this bleaching powder, alum, and aluminum salts. This is one of the lowest cost to remove this because other than what the methods we have to use to remove. Actually,
They are low cost as well as safe, sir.
Safe, that's safe because where excess is there. What you said, water purification we are using by chlorine dioxide. What we can use. So, how much percentage we have to use? Because these are all the major part we have to remove the contaminants. Very micro contaminants, very small contaminants which can affect the pH of the soil as well as because these are all necessary to we have to use because the modern methods what you can carbon tubes still we are nowadays we are not using because this is the method where nanoparticles like what we can discuss now, titanium oxide, iron oxide, these are the metals only nowadays wherever so many are using to because they can neutralize the pollutants perfectly. This is
And
the
so for the one more thing, sir. For balancing the pH of soil formerly, and since long we were using lime and other substances like silica is acidic and lime is basic. So
Yes,
if
yes.
your soil is say basic, we will add the silica, means sand mining से जहाँ से भी मिले हमें वो add कर सकते हैं. And if the soil is acidic, we can use the lime, chuna, to balance the pH.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
if we are using these heavy metal oxide to the agricultural field, plant will assimilate it, and ultimately these heavy metals like zinc, excessive, मैं कह रहा हूँ, excessive, and titanium, which is actually not generally part of diet, that will be assimilated by the plant. Again, they will start entering to the trophic level. So for the pH balancing, we have method like adding lime or silica to the fields. So how this method will be more helpful compared to that conventional method?
So what I said, sir, we are using biodegradable, which are there. Whatever the materials we are using, reduce the, because the material remediation, biodegradable remediation, what we are using, naturally occurring like microorganisms and bacteria, they should be removed by using this measure, what we can say it, zinc oxide. It is not toxic, sir. What I said is, actually I written here, because in the soil pollution, 1 minute I will show you here.
Sir, zinc oxide is toxic to the organism. What
Uh,
I know about.
here air, because soil groundwater,
And it is so toxic that it
high
basically
capacity
create a lot
traps,
of health problem. Zinc dust.
they absorb large volumes of organic pollutants such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons from the soil particles. So you're injected directly into contaminated sites to neutralize toxic solvent heavy metals, eliminating the need to dig up soil.
And sir,
Whatever, wherever, these are the things where we are using large volumes of the organic pollutants for polycyclic aromatic compounds, where exactly where we have to use to reduce this.
okay, sir. And sir, hello.
Sir, tell me.
Sir, last question from my side.
Hmm.
Say you said that many of these, like titanium oxide, zinc, if I heard correctly, zinc oxide, titanium oxide, these are also helpful to tackle the heavy metals.
Yes.
So, sir, how they will tackle the heavy metals, like by formation of any kind of chelate, which further will be, you say, separated automatically from the system? How they will, because they are also heavy metals, and how they will tackle the another heavy metal by forming any kind of chelate or binder or coordination compound, whatever it is. How
Yes,
it
sir.
will work?
That's what, sir. We are using, these are the toxic substances can be neutralized with other materials.
Okay,
Like
so we
we
have
are
another
taking,
burden of cleaning and treating the things.
because these are only can reactive perfectly with the wherever the pollutants which are there, minute pollutants are there. So these are the right now, according to the nanoparticles, this is the size of the particle based on the whatever the materials we are using. Now these are these toxic, the adverse effect will also be there. The maximum we can minimize the toxicity level of the water as well as soil pollution by using the permissible levels what we can use. That is my what my observation in this part, sir.
So that is observed during the lab working, means suppose you doing the research, so you must be having proper paper of doing experiment in the lab, and then you just say recorded the
Yes, sir.
result, then how it is working.
Yes, sir. Actually, we are using this GC, gas chromatography, as well as high pressure this liquid chromatography, as per the graphical, the contaminants, how far they are affecting, because we are observing this, and how nanoparticles they neutralize the things. If any adverse effects, still it is in a process to reduce what the chemicals we have to use to reduce this.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I ask you two questions with very limited that I have. Sir, can
Madam.
you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
sir. Can I ask you two questions? I have very limited knowledge of chemistry, but I would like to ask you just two things.
Sure, madam.
One, what is the biggest limitation of your research, of your study? What is the biggest limitation according to you?
Limitation, my research concern to, because whatever the materials we are using, it cannot give the adverse effect because the level of the chemicals what we have to use to reduce this pollution. The limitations, these are the level, the maintenance of the level, the ppm, parts per million we have to use. That is my answer.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. And one more thing, according to the conversation that I heard between Sandeep sir and you, what I have understood is that nanoparticle compounds can be hazardous. So should their usage be stopped completely according to you, or can we use them according to, maybe can we accustom them according to our use?
According to the observation of the what contaminants we have, as well as in the soil as well as water. So what suitable nanoparticle we have to use to them, because every nanoparticle they cannot, you can use to purify the soil pollution as well as water pollution, air pollution. Different types of pollutions are there. The whatever the suitable suitable chemicals we have to use to reduce this, madam, because all so many nanoparticles are there. The particular nanoparticle, the chemicals which can actually, a reaction will takes place with them to reduce. So those only we can select and we can use.
Thank you. I must say that was a very well presented paper. I thank each one of you and I extend my heartfelt gratitude for all of you to be a part of such a successful culmination of the Global Symposium. Over the past 2 days, we have witnessed inspiring keynote addresses, thought-provoking paper presentations, enriching discussions, and a remarkable exchange of ideas across disciplines. This symposium has truly reflected the spirit of academic collaboration and lifelong learning. On behalf of the Literary Roundtable, we express our deepest gratitude to our esteemed chief guest and keynote speaker for generously sharing their wisdom, experience, and valuable insights. Our sincere thanks to all the respected jury members and session chairs for their time, thoughtful evaluations, and unwavering commitment to maintaining academic excellence. I also extend a word of thanks to the organizing committee, volunteers, whose tireless efforts behind the scenes ensured the smooth conduct of this session. And to all the participants who've been there, and we are not undermining any of your research, and we are genuinely thankful for all the hard work that we've put in. I would request everyone to please switch on their cameras for the videos so that we could take one group photo, and a big thank you to all of you. Would you please all just switch on your videos so that we can take one group photograph? Sandeep sir, we can't see you.
I got bit oil on my face. I was just wiping it out.
Good evening, sir. Neeti ma'am, please switch on your video. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this conference and making it a success. I wish you all the best for everything in your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.